President Daniel Arap Moi ruled Kenya for 24 long years before he peacefully handed over power to Kenya's third president, Moi Kibaki, in December 2002. And Moi passed on, very old, at least 100 years, last year, 4th February 2020. And his memorial service, 1-year anniversary memorial service, ended up releasing plenty of drama, a lot of it with political connotations. Boma ni ya mzee Moi, kila mtu anakubaliana, lakini ni nani anatawala? Yes, there was a drama between siblings, Moi's sons, last-born Gideon Moi, and the head of the family, his elder brother, Raymond Moi. So, what was that all about? What is it from all this that should be of great interest to Kenyans? That is what my show today is all about. And I warmly welcome you. Enjoy. Indeed, time really flies, because it is hard to believe that it is already 1 year, now over 1 year, since the second president of Kenya, Daniel Arap Moi, left us. Because I still remember the 4th of February 2020 as if it was just yesterday, or at worst, last week. Anyway, Mzee Moi's first-year anniversary of his passing on memorial service yielded quite a lot of drama. You know, as we recently said on this channel, life is a classroom, a constant classroom, and we can learn even from people greater and better than ourselves. We can even learn from evil people more famous than ourselves. And the take-home from the Moi family drama, directed at fathers. What will happen to your favorite child, your favorite son, when you leave this earth? And they have to deal with their siblings. What will happen to the relationship between your children, when you're no longer around, to maintain peace and order? And virtually every family has these issues. But let us dive in, to Mzee Moi's memorial service and the drama that unfolded. It all kicked off with the remarks of Rongai legislator and one of Moi's sons, Raymond, when he made a very strange remark. He said that some people were referring to the late president's home as boma la Gideon, as in Gideon Moi. Raymond emphasized the correct position was that this was the home of the late former president Daniel Arap Moi, boma la mzee. And he said it will always remain like that, adding that his younger brother was trying very hard to get the whole thing changed so that everybody refers to it as boma la Gideon Moi. Now that is a strange statement to make at your dad's memorial, because there are family issues which should be kept to the family. They should never be exposed to the public. When you see a family member exposing something to the public, then you immediately know it is a serious issue. It is eating them, and they just can't keep it to themselves. they have to spit it out to the entire public. I believe what Raymond was trying to emphasize was the fact that as the eldest son of the late president still alive, he was head of the home, the leader of the boma. And then President Uhuru Kenyatta spoke and finished. But apparently he had forgotten something: to present a special memorial book on the late President Daniel Arap Moi to the Moi family. And the president was laughing when he said that the true leader of Moi's homestead was the elder brother. And he called him and he presented the book to him. But this maneno, of which Jogo is the bigger Jogo in the family, did not end there. When Gideon Moi stood up to give the vote of thanks, he had the last word on this issue. He said that people follow traditions, and he emphasized, according to Kalenjin tradition, his brother was correct. This was the homestead of the late President Daniel Arap Moi. However, mimi donatawala. In other words, he is the one leading that homestead, as per tradition. Now, in most African traditions, for most communities, when your dad passes on, the last-born inherits the homestead. That is the way things go in my father's community, the Kamba, and I believe also the Kalenjin communities. So that the last-born is head of the homestead of their dad, and the firstborn is head of the family. And there's absolutely no contradiction there. The firstborn steps into the shoes of their late father, makes decisions for the family that their father would have made if he was still around, and then the lastborn takes over the father's homestead, is in charge of that homestead, makes decisions within that homestead, but still has to refer to the leader of the family, the firstborn. That's how it goes. And it should be simple enough and clear enough. However, human nature and human emotions step in. Issues of the one who was favored by the departed parent step in. And then clarity vanishes. But before we go into the Moi family vicious politics, I believe this latest drama may have had something to do with Rift Valley politics. Raymond Moi is legislator of Rongai, an area with very many Deputy President William Samoei Ruto supporters. Most within the Kalenjin community are for Deputy President William Samoei Ruto, and against Gideon Moi, son of President Moi, which could raise the political question, what side does the Moi homestead fall in Kalenjin politics? Because you see, Gideon also took over his late father's political mantle. And so, somebody may be keen to emphasize that the head of the Moi homestead is Raymond and not Gideon Moi. And then, of course, somebody will shoot back, but Gideon took over the political mantle of his father. And you thus launch an argument that can never end or be resolved. But let us dive into the family politics. Moi's true heir and firstborn was a man called Jonathan Moi, or Jonathan Toretich. He passed on about 2 years ago, and therefore, the son following Jonathan is Raymond. However, both Raymond and Jonathan and especially Jonathan, never had a good relationship with their father. They rarely saw eye to eye. And the father's favorite was the lastborn, Gideon Moi. He is the son Moi trusted. And therefore, even when Moi was still alive, Gideon ran everything. He was in charge of the family businesses. I have covered this issue before in great detail on this channel. During the send-off for Jonathan. So I'm trying very hard not to repeat myself. But in a nutshell, the main reason why Jonathan, Moi's firstborn, never got on with his dad was because he was very close to his mother, Lena Moi, the mother of all Moi's children. And when Daniel Arap Moi separated with Lena Moi, and he banished her to his Rongai farm, Jonathan never forgave his dad. But I also believe there was another major issue at play here. DNA. Because Jonathan and Raymond took the DNA of their mother, who had a temper that is still the stuff of legend. Gideon's temperament is much closer to that of his late dad. And therefore it is not surprising that he had a much better relationship with the father than his siblings. Children should never get involved in issues to do with their parents' relationships. Never ever. But they do, with the devastating consequences. I believe what really ate the late Jonathan and Raymond was the fact that even when Moi was president, Lena had to take a matatu to attend some functions. Yes, public transport. The wife of the President of the Republic of Kenya was using public transport. But then, be as it may, it has nothing to do with you as the child of the two. Because the issue started before you were even born. You were not there. Therefore, love your dad, love your mom, never take sides, never get involved in whatever they're going through as a couple. Haikuhusu, it does not involve you anywhere. You see, Lena Moi has the distinction of being the only woman in Kenyan history to refuse the President of the Republic of Kenya a dance and to tell him no on his face. This drama unfolded at State House Nakuru during a National Day celebration function. And it all started when President Jomo Kenyatta opened the dance, as is the tradition, and was followed by his vice president. But the vice president, Daniel Toroitich arap Moi, took to the dance floor with another woman, not his wife. And that was when all hell broke loose. Because there were rumors that the senior police woman the vice president was dancing with, had a special relationship with the vice president. And those allegations, rumors, had reached Lena. And so when she saw that woman dancing with her husband, she lost it. And President Jomo Kenyatta noticed it. Therefore, he tried to cool the situation by approaching Lena and asking her for a dance, which she declined with force. That incident greatly embarrassed the vice president. His enemies, his political enemies, the Kiambu Mafia, couldn't stop talking about it for months. And it was shortly after that incident that Moi decided to separate with his wife. And he sent her off to his Rongai farm, with instructions that she should never live there. And that is why, to many younger Kenyans, President Daniel Toroitich arap Moi never had a wife. That is not correct. He had Lena Moi. It is interesting that at the same function, President Uhuru Kenyatta brought up the issue of respect to authority, which I covered in a previous video on this channel. And the president said that he was always very uncomfortable visiting the former president after he himself became president. You see, the former president had a problem with his knee, as a result of a road accident. It never healed properly. But the former president would always insist on standing up. Immediately, Uhuru Kenyatta walked into the room. And the former president insisted that it was important, to pay respects to the current president of the Republic of Kenya. And I totally understand how uncomfortable President Uhuru Kenyatta was feeling. Because you see, Moi practically raised Uhuru. Uhuru grew up, from a very small child, as Moi was already a senior member of the Jomo Kenyatta government, the vice president then. And when Moi was leaving politics, he mentored Uhuru and groomed him, to be his successor. Uhuru even confessed once that he feared President Moi, and especially when you did something President Moi didn't like. He confessed that he once hid for days on end, avoided Moi completely, just because he had done something that really upset Moi. And then this is the man who insists on standing up every time you walk into a room. Your father, in every sense of the word, showing you respect just because you're president of the Republic of Kenya. That was Moi for you. And that is what respect and knowing how to handle authority is all about. Because Moi would have gotten away, with being arrogant towards Uhuru. After all, what does he not know about President Uhuru? The old man would have easily gotten away with talking down to Uhuru. Najua we ni president, lakini kijana angalia hapa. Sikiliza mzee ni kupatia mawaidha. We ni mtoto, mimi ni mzee. Kwa hivyo, sikiliza na makini. Hakuna kitu naweza nifundisha mimi. We ni mtoto wa juzi. Moi would have easily gotten away with that. But that's not how he behaved. He showed such respect for authority. That he insisted on standing up. With all his issues with his knees. The world is a classroom. What a lesson. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, remember to give me a like. Please subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. Until next time, this is Chris Gomekucha.